So it lasted 43 minutes this time, or 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We need to either cut this time back or figure this shit out.
No, we need to figure this out. Oh, we're back up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So as you were saying about the about One Night in Miami, what were you saying about One Night in Miami?
I was saying I thought it was an opportunity, and the way it was promoted, I thought it was an opportunity. I think they were taking the opportunity to present these like giant role models, these as human beings, to show them, as friends, just hanging out.
Yeah.
And while there was an aspect of that, it wasn't nearly the aspect of that was presented in the promos and the demos.
No.
And part of that's also my ignorance, not knowing that this is a play that's been a stage play that's been around for years. And when you watch it, it definitely tracks as a stage play because the whole thing takes place in that hotel room for the most part. And you do get a different side, but it's not the side you might have thought you were going to get. It's still an excellent movie, but it was one of those ones that cuts really deep, and sometimes you feel like you need to prepare yourself for those because you're like, it's a bit of a shifting gears from, oh, this is going to be fun, to, oh no, this isn't fun. This is important. And fun and important don't usually go together.
Yeah, I can see that. But the thing I like about movies like that is,
but it does hit an audience you might not have hit.
Yes, it's gonna grab an audience, and then it gives you a perspective on Black historical figures that were polarizing. Because it puts a figure like Malcolm X who doesn't who most white folks really could not get on board with what his ideals were. But it puts him in a light where they can go, okay, you know what, I can dig that. I can understand him as being a real person. Because you look at it from a political conversation piece, because that's what most of that movie is like. It's talking about what the next steps are going to be for all of them, and it plays on that a little better. I haven't had a chance to watch it all the way through. I've watched the play a couple of years ago, but I haven't had a chance to watch the movie all the way through.
It was challenging for me to separate my knowledge from what I was seeing, because I carried a lot of context from, I had seen the Malcolm X documentary where they were talking about who killed him and why he was killed. And there was a lot of information I learned from the clips of watching him speak in that, from hearing them talk about how he was with his family and that, to hearing some of the things he ended up doing, and knowing that. And that's why I already knew about that night historically from watching that.
Yeah.
So I knew the context of the film with respect to Malcolm X going into it, which I think puts a different it's a different angle than if you are just watching it for the first time and you don't have that background. I don't know how much of that background comes through in the film to humanize him. You do get a better sense of him as a father, and by all accounts, he's always been considered a tremendous family man.
Yes,
and I won't even lie. When they show his house getting firebombed at the end of the film, they don't even really tell you, explain why, he's paranoid with the feds. There's breaking with Elijah Muhammad, but they didn't
go into detail about
it. Why would that happen? Who was doing this to, they didn't go into that. But I teared up because I knew the story about that, and having that kind of thrown back in, and it's like I can see the like knowing as a father thinking about like your family like being terrorized in that way, being exposed to having your house burned down and just being and the terror not for yourself but for your loved ones.
Yeah,
and that kind of hit me. I got choked up a little bit when I saw that that part, but I don't know that everybody would react that way because I mean I think there are because again I think some of that context is lost in just the trying to wrap your head around what you're seeing.
Yeah,
because there is a lot of stuff there with the relationship with him and Sam Cooke that gets explored is a really deep dive. But I just feel like I don't know that there's enough background on Malcolm and who he was and where he was at that particular point in time.
Okay. I got to sit down and watch it. I haven't watched that or Judas and the Black Messiah yet. I'm still working on my Black History Month playlist.
What's that sound, Marcus?
Is it Candace? Is it Candace? Hey, Candace, did you join us back? Welcome back, Candace.
I'm back. A little bit of technical difficulty.
Oh, okay. It's the Dot Comedy Podcast. It wouldn't be the Dot Comedy Podcast without technical difficulties. It would be a regular run podcast. Man, we were just talking about what we're watching and what we're binge watching and what movies we're getting into in this past Black History Month with us still kind of quarantining, still getting a whole lot of views in. Joey was just regaling us with his viewing of One Night in Miami. So Candace, have you watched any movies that you had or that you would want our viewers or our listeners to get out there and see or
not
or watch it?
One Night in Miami is on my watch. I haven't gotten around to it. I'm just catching up on This Is Us. That's my show. And I've actually been binge watching like old shows on Netflix. I got caught up in New Girl, which honestly is an awful show, but I just got caught up and now I have to finish it.
How dare you?
Watching
New Girl is hot trash. I never liked the show. All my friends liked it, and
it was not good.
It's not a good show.
The same plot over and over and over again. It's just I don't know. It's just not good. But it's like now since I've started, I have to finish it.
I feel you on that, Joey. How do you feel about your beloved New Girl being?
I'm disappointed in both of you.
Joey loves New Girl. He is a Zooey Deschanel fan.
Actually, it's not her. I'm a big Jake Johnson fan.
Who's Jake Johnson?
He plays Miller.
Okay.
Nick Miller.
Nick Miller.
He plays Nick, and the relationship between the guys in the apartment is what I find funny. Like I don't find her funny. She's kind of annoying, but she kind of sets up a lot of the humor.
She's a straight man for
She's a straight man for everything that happens, for the most part, and so like it sets up a lot of stuff that I like. I like it's got a very improv-y vibe, and I think either that resonates with you or it doesn't. But I like that style of humor. Where it escalates.
Every show's like exactly this. Every episode's almost like exactly the same. It's the same episode over and over and over again, and like I don't know.
You could argue that about most shows, though. Like most shows,
can't say that about Star Trek Discovery.
No, but Star Trek Discovery is a different model. So Star Trek Discovery is also not on the network TV model. Most network television shows that have like 20 episodes have a formula, and they stick to the formula, and they have they might have a subplot or two, and the finale or the last two episodes, the subplot takes over, and then they recycle back for the season, right?
Also,
until like season 3 or 4, and then the subplot takes over, and then it starts getting horrible.
What were we saying, Candace?
Also, they're like supposed to be in their early 30s, but they're emotionally like 17. It's like this. The whole episode is, I like him, and should I tell him? And these are like grown ass people with like the emotional maturity of high schoolers, and it's just, I don't know. The show is exhausting.
You act like people don't do that. Like the 30-somethings in this generation have definitely been.
They're all
that.
millennials. They truly are millennials.
Yeah.
They are.
The show was made for millennials. I think is the problem you have.
Candace is a Gen Xer who's watching a show for millennials and going, I hate these kids.
I will admit, like, I totally got a different experience watching that show when it first came out versus rewatching it. I think during COVID I re-binged it, and it was a different experience.
You felt different about it?
Totally different.
So bad. It's just bad.
That's
I
just
like
wrong.
Zoe Deschanel, and I want, you know me, I want to champion anything that has a female lead. I love that kind of stuff. It's just not a good show.
Disagree.
I mean, it's not a great show. It's a Fox show. I think that's what we need to remember. It has that same Fox formula. Whenever Fox does live action shows, they feel that way a lot of the time.
I mean, what's a better sitcom right now, though? Sitcoms in general are trash.
I don't watch any sitcoms right now.
It's better than anything Chuck Lorre is doing.
No.
Yes.
See, Big Bang is over with.
Big Bang is trash.
Big Bang was not trash.
Big Bang is horrifyingly garbage.
How so? Really?
The jokes the whole episode is one joke.
Okay.
One that you see coming in the second scene, and then you're just waiting. Okay, they're gonna do the punchline, and think about the same joke. It's the same joke. Sheldon's weird. We get it every episode. Sheldon's weird. Fucking what's his face has an Oedipus complex, and they're all annoying.
Don't talk about it.
That was trash. 2.5 Men.
Garbage. All of his shows are garbage.
Show.
Don't compare the two. Like the comedy happening in those shows is so plotting and slow, and like it's it's all like those CBS shows are a whole level of garbage that is unfathomably bad.
I can't agree with you on that one.
They're all four simple people.
I'm gonna let that go.
I will agree. The reason I like New Girl is New Girl has like 5 different levels of humor going on at any one time. They'll have some high level stuff that you can pick up on, but they'll also have slapstick stuff, and it's fast enough paced that there's a million things. There's something in there for everybody. Okay, whereas Chuck Lorre, it's like, we're making this joke now. Let's everybody get in place for the punchline. Like, that's the level of stupid that they present the jokes with.
You don't stop talking about my shows like that, Joe. I don't appreciate you.
I used to watch it, and then I started doing stand-up, and now I can't stand it.
Jaded jackasses. That's all stand-up comedians are to me, Joe. A bunch of jaded jackasses. I'm sorry.
But you're going to run into sitcom 9 times out of 10. A sitcom is going to be formulaic. That's they have the same plots because that's all they have. And then if they try to do more is when that's literally where Jumping the Shark came from, was the Fonz trying to do something to raise the level because they had done everything else.
Tried to jump a shark.
It's literally where the whole thing comes from. And that's just sitcom television. Like, as soon as you try to break the formula, you run that risk. You talk about, most Star Trek shows have that formula, except for Discovery, because Discovery is shot and has been done like in a new format. And the new format is basically short seasons that are basically a mini series, and that's what a lot of shows have moved to, where they're not doing these 26 episode seasons anymore. Now
a show that does do long season episodes, Blacklist. That's a show I'm watching right now. Great show. I love the formula of the show. It puts you in the mind of a criminal world that you can think is there, but you don't know is really there. And you can think, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense in like reality. Why would this happen in reality? Because the premise of the show is the number one, like one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted comes into the FBI and says, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a list of guys that you don't know exist, that are doing all the reckless, dangerous shit in the world that you're all investigating, but you don't know who they are behind it. And I'm gonna let you know who these people are." And he comes in, and the reason it's compelling to me is because every episode you look at it and you go, that can't have be real. But then because at the beginning of the show he was like, yeah, you ever think about all these weird spontaneous plane crashes or train derailments and things that happen like that, and you're like, yeah, that was a weird coincidence. And if you look through that passenger manifest, you go, oh yeah, there was a senator on there who was opposing a gun bill. And then you're thinking, oh, okay, well, that's just a weird coincidence that senator died. But the show digs deeper into it, where it goes, yeah, the reason that senator died is because the gun lobby decided to put a contract on him, and so then they go after the contract person.
So this is a show that's responsible for all these conspiracy theorists.
Oh, it's by 9 times.
I saw a meme today that said, "Stop doing computer science because they're filled with bad diagrams and demons."
I don't know what that is. I don't know what spiritual meme you're watching today. But yeah, it's a good show though, and I suggest anyone to watch. If you watch the first season, you'll get hooked into it.
I feel like the thing is, I don't mind a show that has kind of the same plot because that's their formula. If it's a good formula, the problem is every time I find a show that I like the formula for, it gets canceled.
Yeah,
like I liked Limitless, and for a similar reason. Like the reason I liked Limitless is it was not predictable because they used if you're familiar with Limitless the movie, they use a drug that makes them super smart.
Yeah.
And because he's a guy super smart, he's able to make connections and
that most people wouldn't see.
Right. And so every time you're never able to predict it because they're able to go so many layers deep on the explanation of how it happened, because the person's, the guy's doing some oily off the wall stuff to connect the dots.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, I can just go for a ride on this show. I don't need to try to, it's not going to be predictive. Some other shows, like I'll watch some of these shows and you'll know who the bad guy is because they cast a bad guy. Like you can cast the same guy who's the bad guy, and he's going to be evil at some point. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, you gotta wait, and then you'll see that he's
a TV actor. He always has a heel turn at some point.
Oh man, so you know what, Joey? What were we saying, Candace?
No, I was just gonna say one of the best sitcoms. I mean, a lot of the better sitcoms were in the '90s, right? So like Martin and Fresh Prince, I think are top sitcoms of all time. And then one that I really, really, really loved was How I Met Your Mother. That shit was hilarious every episode, every time. It had an amazing cast. Neil Diamond Phillip, whatever the fuck his name is, hilarious.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Diamond Phillips.
That shit was
Neil Diamond Phillips is a very different person.
I found myself literally laughing out loud constantly.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Now, payoff on that show was okay. I need Candace to stop moving.
Oh, sorry.
For your exposure vagina to the world. I just need you to pan the camera a little bit because I think that's going to happen by accident. I don't need that to happen to you. I don't want that to happen to you. But yeah, payoff for How I Met Your Mother was trash.
Oh my God, that the episode, the finale when you finally met her, I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
That 3-episode arc was trash. I hated every minute of it. It was the worst shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was terrible.
They didn't need to do it that way. It would have been so much easier to do it in any other millions of ways.
They completely failed on that shit.
Yeah, that was hot garbage. All right.
Yeah.
So Joey, what we got as far as topics?
Probably the reason I never circled back around to that one.
Did you ever finish it?
It hurt me so badly.
Yeah.
That I was done with it when it ended.
Yeah, I never watched it again. Like you all told me about it, and then I watched like the whole series, and then finally watched the finale and went, that wasn't worth it. That's 8 years of life that I just went, yeah.
I find that happens with sitcoms more than any other type of show, though. They tend to they never end well.
The way you want them to end.
They always like peter out because they were having that last gasp, and there were, that last season's usually you could tell it was over.
You know which one did end very well, and it that's probably why it's probably stood the test of time as far as being a great sitcom. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
It did not. They did not have a bad season of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No.
And that,
do you know what was the most disappointing season finale of all time? The Sopranos. What the fuck was that? What was that?
Well, Tony died, and they foretold it in 2 episodes earlier when him and Bobby Baklava were on the boat.
What? No.
Yeah.
The finale was them eating dinner at a diner, and the daughter didn't even make it inside because she was parallel parking.
But you got to look back at the episodes previous to that. So there was another scene where Tony and Bobby were on a boat, and they were talking about getting shot. And Tony and Bobby says, "You probably don't even know what's coming, and you probably won't hear anything until at all when it happens." So that's why the ending was the way it was. You didn't know it was coming, and once it happens, you're just dead. You don't know it's there. It happened, or anything else went on after that.
I never saw that.
Well, I didn't get all of that, and it was just dumb to me.
Anyway,
Sopranos is a great show. I watched The Sopranos from end to end. I used to go home for lunch breaks from my old job when I worked at the Big Red S. I would go home on lunch and watch The Sopranos every Sunday night because I'd be working till midnight, and they would let me leave for an hour to go watch The Sopranos and then come back from lunch. It's kind of stroke I had at that job. But Joey, what we got as far as topics this week, Joey?
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of what people are watching, the Golden Globe Awards happened.
Okay, so Joey, you gotta explain something to me, all right?
Okay.
What are the Golden Globes?
I don't know. They're like the knockoff of they're an award show, but no one really cares. But they're like, it's nice if you get one.
So it's the Emmys, the Golden Globes, the Tonys, and the Grammys, right? Is that the big four?
The Golden Globes aren't really one of the big three. Is like the Grammys, the Tonys, and the Oscars. Are supposed to be the big ones.
Are Golden Globes for TV shows or for movies?
I think it's mostly for movies, but I think there's some TV shows in there too. No, I'm sorry. The big four are Emmys, Tonys, Oscars. Emmys are for TV, Oscars are for movies, Grammys for music, and the Tonys are for plays.
Show. Emmys, Tonys, Oscars.
No, it's Emmys, Grammys, Oscars, Tonys, because they call it EGOT,
yeah.
when people have won all four.
Okay.
Right?
I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
There's also a SAG award thing out there.
I thought the SAG award was when your balls hang just low enough to where everybody still likes you.
Okay.
And you're in the Screen Actors Guild. You have to have low hanging balls in the Screen Actors Guild.
Gotcha.
Get an award. It's lifetime achievement. Anyway, the Golden Globes winners were in 2021. Best Picture Drama went to Nomadland. Do we even care about the nominees? I've never heard of any of these movies. Best Picture Musical Comedy, Borat's subsequent movie film.
What was? Huh? All right. What?
Borat 2 won a Golden Globe.
Okay.
For best comedy.
That's just weird.
It beat Hamilton.
What was Hamilton as musical comedy?
Yeah.
As musical or comedy. Why are musical and comedy in the same category?
How did Borat win?
Also, Hamilton wasn't a comedy.
Well, it's musical or comedy, so
which is a stupid category.
That's how they stopped giving comedy
Hamilton was
awards.
clearly a better musical than Borat was a comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best actress in a motion picture drama went to Andra Day for United States versus Billie Holiday.
Okay.
All right.
Best actor went to Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
All right.
I never saw that one. When that would come out?
I have no idea. Doesn't say. This is the problem with this past year. There weren't any movies, so we're not going to have heard of any of these. Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy went to Rosamund Pike for I Care a Lot. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Wow, this is like the all-white girl crew. Rosamund Pike, Maria Bakalova, Kate Hudson, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Anya Taylor-Joy were the nominees. They all look the same.
Sounds about right.
Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy went to Sacha Baron Cohen for Borat. I'm regretting we did this.
I'm looking at this list. This list is trash.
Best Supporting Actress, Jodie Foster.
Okay.
The Mauritanian.
You can't go wrong with Jodie Foster.
The other nominees were Glenn Close, Olivia Colman, that chick that looks like Gollum from Ted 2, Helena Zengel, who looks like...
Go ahead. Keep going, Joe. Jesus Christ.
All right. Best Supporting Actor, Daniel Kaluuya. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah.
How was he supporting actor?
I guess they consider, since the film's kind of told from the perspective of Bill O'Neill, then Lakeith Stanfield is the
lead.
Man. Because there's parts of the movie where Fred Hampton's not actually in it.
Oh, okay.
What is that movie even about?
Fred Hampton.
No, The Black Messiah. That's the one about Fred Hampton.
Yes, it's about Fred Hampton.
Oh, okay. I thought it was named something else.
I don't know what else it would have been named.
Sacha Baron Cohen was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor for The Trial of Chicago 7. Here's who Daniel Kaluuya beat out, by the way. He beat out Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, who played Sam Cooke in that, Bill Murray for On the Rocks, and Jared Leto, The Little Things. Chloe Zhao won Best Director for Nomadland.
I've not heard of this movie.
I never heard of it either. Best Screenplay, Aaron Sorkin, The Trial of Chicago 7. Best Picture was Best Picture Animated went to Soul.
Okay, Jamie Foxx got a Golden Globe.
Best Picture Foreign Language was Minari. Which, wait a minute. It says Best Picture Foreign Language, and then underneath Minari it says USA. The other movies, another round, Denmark. The other one says France/Guatemala, Italy, USA, and France. How did the U.S. win the foreign language? Best score. Do we care about any of the rest of these?
No. What was Best Picture? Did it say?
Oh, there are some TV stuff. So The Crown won for Best Drama Series.
It beat out Lovecraft Country?
Yeah, that's some bullshit. And The Mandalorian and Ozark.
That's
Did Bridgerton win anything?
No. It wasn't even nominated. Best Musical Comedy Series, Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, that's Candace's show.
Definitely. That show's hilarious.
Best Television Motion Picture.
That's a good one.
The Queen's Gambit won Best TV Motion Picture. Which, how do they qualify that? Wait a minute. Wasn't that a Netflix movie?
Mm-hmm.
Borat was a freaking Prime movie. How the hell did it win General Movie?
Nah, I don't know how they do this shit.
This is why no one gives a fuck about the Golden Globes. Best Actress in a Television Motion Picture. What are these categories?
How did Jason Sudeikis beat out Don Cheadle on Black Monday? You ever watch Black Monday?
No.
Quite possibly the best show on TV. If you have a chance to watch Black Monday, I'd say watch Black Monday.
Mark Ruffalo won for Best Television Motion Picture.
Is it on Netflix? Where's
it's on Starz.
Starz, okay.
John Boyega.
Is this starting to look really, really sketchy? Because the more I look at these nominees, the more monochromatic this whole thing is becoming.
Oh yeah, it gets white.
So it makes it feel like Daniel Kaluuya got that. Was the exception to the rule here. Although, yeah, John Boyega did win for Small Axe, which I don't know what that is.
He won for having Small Axe.
No, Small Axe was a show. He got Best Supporting Actor on television.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing here.
I'm done with this.
I'm done with this. Yeah.
I'm done with this. What else happened, Joey? What other topic we got this week?
So a mom who makes $150,000 a month from OnlyFans had her 3 sons expelled from Catholic school because of her page.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this, Joey. Now, here's a question for you. Okay, do you understand why the kids were suspended from school or expelled from school?
Were they? I don't know.
Moral turpitude is what the school said.
Moral turpitude.
Moral turpitude, because their parents are degenerates. Now, I believe that whatever your parents do, as far as what they do to make money, doesn't matter for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So if your mom's a stripper, your mom's a stripper. As long as you eat and you have clean clothes and your house is clean, there's food in your refrigerator every day, no one should really care about what you do to make your money.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's illegal. If you're selling drugs, yeah, people care about that. But if you're doing something that's above board and legal for you to do, by all means, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
How about you, Joey? Now, here's a question for you, Joey. Here's a question for you and for Candace. Would you let your child, if you found that parent's OnlyFans page, go to that kid's house after viewing their OnlyFans page?
Wait, what?
Well, if you say you have a 6-year-old, okay,
and I find out that their friend's mom
is on OnlyFans. Would you let your 6-year-old go to their house?
That's such a good question. I mean, I don't guess that has anything to do with the care that they would take for my child, but I would feel some kind of way about it, you know? That's a really good
I'd have to do that a case-by-case basis. No, I would, because, like, I don't know what their working hours are. I just don't want the kid to open the wrong door.
And you have to explain it when they get home.
Yeah. Yeah, and then before they're ready, or they see something that they can't explain, or they get exposed to something, and it kind of throws them off, and I have to pay for therapy. What really, so like, if the understandings that they're going to be responsible and not do that kind of shit while there's company there, because I assume most OnlyFans are work from home, or if they, if they have an office for their
studio space,
they have a studio space. That's not in the home, then yeah, by all means. But yeah, I wouldn't want there to be that that possibility just for not having to deal with some shit. That would be a preference, but it would also depend upon how I felt. Like, I'm not gonna go ahead and assume that every single parent who makes a living doing OnlyFans shit is irresponsible as a parent.
A degenerate. I agree.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. Now that said, I also am not going to say that they're definitely just because it doesn't mean they're not necessarily a degenerate doesn't mean that they're not in fact a degenerate. So it needs to be there's more factors there. I don't think it's that cut and dry, but no, not exclusively for that.
Okay. So Candace, you said it's kind of the same as Joey.
Yeah, it's like there shouldn't really be any reason why my child can't go over there, right? Because I don't think that they're gonna be doing that while their kid's having a play date. But
well, also it says
I would feel a certain way about it. I don't know.
It doesn't look like she actually is posting any nudes anyway.
It's just that she has one, and so, again, it's doing OnlyFans incorrectly is where I sit with that whole thing anyway. OnlyFans was designed and created for a reason. And DJ Khaled and Fat Joe having an OnlyFans page together is not the reason OnlyFans exists. It is not. It's not what all these women are doing, where they're eating nachos on a bearskin rug with the freaking 4-piece suit on. It's not. It's not what OnlyFans is. It's as I
It
stated.
could be.
It could be. That could be your kink. I don't know what your thing is.
I can make that happen.
I don't want you to make that happen. That sounded weird, and I need to keep that.
All I need is a bearskin rug. I got
nachos.
some nachos. I got the fireplace. I got the bed. I got the suit.
Have you seen those tweets where people have like a brand new Range Rover or a new house and they're like, I got this from OnlyFans?
Yes.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you know why I believe that? Now this again. I am an OnlyFan. I do not hide that fact from my life. But the prices on some of these pages are astronomical. And I look at the amount of likes they have on their pages. In order for you to get a like, someone has to subscribe to your page.
Everyone's weird. There's
So,
weirdos everywhere.
So like that's the thing about OnlyFans. In order to actually see content, you have to subscribe to their page.
Okay.
So if you subscribe to a page, you have to pay for the page, the subscription fee, or if it's a free page, you have to pay for each one of their little
clicky,
their little drops.
The clicky dinks.
Yeah, the clicky dinks. If the clicky dinks or the subscription fee. So is like I'll look at how many likes the person has at the top of their page. Like if I see them, like they come across my Twitter feed, and I'll be like, okay, I click on their bio, and if they have a Linktree account, they have an OnlyFans page. That's what I found out. I think I said that on a previous episode.
I'm gonna start an OnlyFans and
no.
post videos of me spreading Parmesan cheese on things.
Why?
With in a tank top, just like Salt Bae.
Fat fans,
cheese,
fat fans, cholesterol fans. These are my high cholesterol fans. But yeah, so if you click on that page and you subscribe, so say it's $25 for a subscription. If you got 100 subscriptions, you got $2,500 right there. So you're kind of winning. It depends on what your content is as well. So if you're adding content every month, or you're saying, okay, I'm only going to add content if people like me are subscribing to you, and I see, hey, this person has a deal of the day where their page is only $3. I'll subscribe that day, and then I'll take it off auto renew, so I'll have to pay $35 the next month for that same page. That was $3 this month. It's a weird game you play. It's a shell game. I understand. I'm a degenerate. I haven't gotten to that point in my
you know way
yet.
too much about this.
I know, dude. You got all the fucking subscription rhythms and shit. This is disturbing.
It's a part of quarantine life. You have to figure out where the wins are, so you don't get caught up in the losses. I'm trying to get Candace to hook herself up an OnlyFans page. Candace can pay off all those bills she's got and all them student loans she keeps trying to get the government to pay to excuse for her.
Listen, Joe and Kamala promised us. They promised us $10,000 student loan forgiveness. They lied.
Yep, they lied to get in office, just like the rest of them.
The funny part is you're surprised.
Pretty much.
Oh, speaking of airstrikes on Syria, let's talk about it.
Why?
Because they kind of like just smooth did that shit and didn't really like say anything about it.
It was Joe Biden. It was going to happen. He hates
Syria.
He hates everybody. He loves the Jews and he hates everybody else. That's not in question. Like he's always loved Israel and hated the Middle East.
Pretty much.
Right.
Like
where is that written?
it's
You
in
act
his
like that's like a
policy.
thumb-
Look at his record.
Mm-hmm. He's always stood for Israel, and it's
Okay,
kind of.
but what does that have to do with Syria? Why are we bombing Syria?
Because they're not Israel.
Okay.
They're other Browns. He doesn't like those Browns. He likes his American Browns and his Jew Browns. He doesn't like his Browns any other way.
Not the Jew Browns.
It's Jew Browns. That's what I call the Israelis, the Jew Browns. Oh man, yeah. I can't get into a conversation about that stuff going on over there, Joey, because it annoys me whenever I think about over there. Because we've been fighting a war, an invisible war with these brown people for 4 decades now.
For why?
for no reason, and we keep fighting it. I'm like, why are we still fighting these goddamn teraoids?
Because instead of like actually taking the money that we have in our own country to just invent shit so we don't need oil, we're gonna pay money to people who have money to fight people over oil that we don't have.
It's sad.
Because we're still not listening to fucking Eisenhower, who said, beware the military-industrial complex.
No one listened to Dwight D. Eisenhower. Was it Dwight D. Eisenhower?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Dwight. I feel like it's Eisenhower. I don't know about that middle.
It's Dwight D. Eisenhower.
It's a D?
Yeah.
What does the D stand for?
D stands for dick. It's Dwight Dick Eisenhower.
T stands for these nuts.
It is Dwight D. Eisenhower.
There you go.
You are correct, sir.
The 34th president of the United States. And he has a middle school named after him nearby here. But, Joey, I think we got to the end of the show this week.
Oh, I was going to say, you know who else is nearby here?
What's nearby here, Joey?
Matt Judon.
Is that
He's outside linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens.
Is he?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He got into it with a Ravens beat reporter.
Okay.
The beat reporter had been in his business about the Ravens' financial decisions regarding him. He's one of 4 players at his position, the Ravens, that are all free agents, pending free agents. And according to a source, this one reporter said they offered him an average of $16.5 million a year, but he declined. And then Judon was like, "Nah, you lying. Why are you lying about me?" And then there was some back and forth, and Matt Judon basically just kept accusing him of lying, and it escalated to I want to find the exact quote. Here it is.
No, you found it?
I think so. It's loading.
Why is a quote taking so long to load?
Because it's a picture. This is what Matt Judon said. "I know y'all don't know because I just found out this year, but you have about a month to sign a long-term deal after being franchise tagged if a deal doesn't get done in that time. Ain't no deal or talking between the two parties. At Jamison Hensley," that's the name of the reporter. "So I'm waiting on your ESPN sourced apology, or I'm leaking these photos I got with you in the strip club."
He was at Sensationals. That's the only strip club in the DMV that you would go, "I'm gonna leak these pictures of you at the strip club," and everybody go, "Oh no, don't send those. Don't send those." I wasn't in my right mind back then.
This reporter's an employee of Disney, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, that too. Well, WandaVision sometimes it gets a little off. Wanda look a little skimpier outfit than she should be wearing. But
no, it was a Scarlet Witch. She brainwashed me. I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh man, Joey, if we had a beat reporter, do you think they'd write about what we do here at the Die Comedy Podcast? Do you think they would care?
You mean on the podcast,
yes,
or in our daily lives?
In our daily lives.
Podcast.
In our daily lives.
That would probably be a rough beat.
Yes. Be really silent most of the time.
We had to have them just do shit.
We have to do shit just so they can talk to us about something. Oh man, Candace?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. You're still there with us. My screen keeps going in and out, so I don't get to see your beautiful face the whole show.
She's
No, I turned the camera off.
You turned your camera off? Oh man. Well,
yeah.
What we know we're gonna do, Joey?
What's
We're
that?
gonna get out of here for the week, man.
Okay.
All right. It's been fun. It's been kind of real fun. I've had fun. Joey, you have fun this week?
I did.
Candace, you have fun this week?
Always.
Well, that's good to hear. But yeah, we're going to get out of here, folks. But I have been DJ Marcus for Joey LaFaro, Candace August. Candace, tell us your Facebook, Instagram, your Instagram handles. Where you at? You at Candace? At just Candace?
Candace.
Just _ Joey LaFaro, where you at on the internet?
LaFaro Comedy. You can also find us at @.comedy DC on Twitter, @.comedy on IG, and stuff. Oh, the Dot Comedy Podcast on Gmail, YouTube, and any of your favorite podcast apps.
And you can find me, DJ Marcus, at DOTCOMEDY DJ on Twitter, as well as the Dot Comedy DJ Marcus on Instagram. And anywhere you find Dot Comedy, you will surely find myself, Joey LaFaro, Candace August, all the Dot Comedy team. We're going to have some fun next week. We're going to see y'all then. I have had fun. You've had fun. We'll see you on the next time on the Dot Comedy Podcast.